We don't think the figures are right. We don't think there's been enough proper consultation. I mean, they refer to us as stakeholders when quite clearly we're a lot more than that. We're heavily involved with the other end of what the NHS produces when it goes through the hospitals. We'd like to see more representatives, member representation on the board. We don't see much point actually going out and having a big consultation, expensive consultation on a plan that is basically financially flawed. So there are a lot of issues about it that need sorting out before we would like to put our name to it anyway. So I don't know what you think, Clive.
Yes, I agree. You'd think that a plan that is so important for Shropshire, people's health and social care, would be approved through the council, and therefore councillors who represent communities could have their say, and a proper consideration could be made of those proposals. I think it's clear that councils work in a very different way from the NHS. We work bottom up. We've got great experience. Our staff are good at working with communities, with councillors, so that we take everybody's view into consideration. That doesn't mean that we please everybody all of the time, but the process is very different. Democracy does work in the council, whereas there isn't democracy through the NHS, and it's that clash of cultures that has brought us to a place where we disagree, as well as a rush to get a document completed. In the case of developing the neighbourhood aspects of the STP, we've got some really good partnership working now formed between ourselves, NHS partners, GPs, community organisations, and the council's good at that. But 4 months is just not sufficient time to put robust plans together and fully cost those plans, yet the STP deadline had to be met. So that's why we got this agreement. It's not that there isn't positive stuff, there is positive working together, and the council's good at that, but we would want to engage communities much more.
The future fit, for instance, it's got to be a clinical decision, obviously. At the end of the day, that clinical decision has got to be based on a factual plan about financially, clinically, the way forward. Our concerns is that the healthcare in Shropshire is the best we can possibly get it. We developed our new industrial strategy. The business park's been going on for some time. Phase 1 is completed. Phase 2, we've got the main hub, the co-op is there, other buildings are taking place around it. We now want to go on and develop the phase 3 and start putting infrastructure in there, and we do have people who have expressed interest in taking sites there. So it's looking good. We're hoping as we develop our industrial strategy, the Shrewsbury Business Park will play a large part of that in introducing more companies, more business, more economy into Shrewsbury.
So just so staff know where we're talking about, the business park is on the outskirts of Shrewsbury near Salah Pleasure. So we shouldn't call it the Salah Pleasure Island because it may well be another business's island in the future. But the phase 3 is that parcel of land between the A5 and the existing business park. It's a huge site. It's got a sloping topography, but has got a lot of value, and we're bringing that site to Cabinet so that we can start to put the infrastructure in, the access route, the utilities, and we hope to take that site to market in the new year, because we know we've got some large businesses who are interested in being on that site. So it's a really good opportunity to bring businesses here, bring business rates, and at the same time show that Shropshire is open for business. Malcolm and the Cabinet are really keen to encourage us as officers now that through the industrial strategy we want to get large businesses located in Shropshire, create higher paid jobs, attract young people, and find ways in which we keep our own young people here, as well as kick-starting the university in terms of providing those new businesses with the labour force they'll need for the future. So that, combined with other economic work that we do, we will continue to support and help small and medium businesses grow. We've got twice the national growth in small and medium businesses, so we're already good at that. And we'll also want to help people with startups. But the new agenda is moving into attracting some medium and large sized businesses into Shropshire.
What we've actually got to do is develop an offer. The industrial strategy has taken far more importance over the last 12 months than it had previously. We're determined in the cabinet, working with Clive and the officers, to develop this more. We see this as one of the keys to get us over our financial problems in the future, because, as you know, we'll only have business rates, income and council tax to run the authority, so it's important we actually develop that side of it. And the university is strongly in there, because we have to develop a skills base during that offer. So we're still discussing with the Vice Chancellor any changes we think is necessary in the university curricula.
So as we go forward, all local authorities will have to be self-sufficient. There's a question on whether that works or not, and whether funding from government is fair. And Malcolm and Cabinet, working with our MPs, continue to lobby government for a fairer settlement for Shropshire. But in the meantime, it's really important that we go as far as we can on being self-sufficient. So by having a proper industrial strategy, bringing businesses that will pay business rates here, we can then create housing which will also create revenue income for us, and that additional population, those businesses here, will all be pounds spent in Shropshire, which will benefit our existing businesses. If we get that right, and if we get going now, over the next 3 to 5 years, we could potentially put our finances in balance. The strategy that we're taking at the moment on the budget is to plug the gap for the next 3 years with one-offs. Those one-offs can only be spent once. They won't be here after 3 years. So it's really important now that we grow businesses, we bring housing in, and we try and create the income so that we're self-sufficient. And that's our strategy.
There is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, that we actually think, because the government has formulated this parliamentary panel looking at how the formula for elderly care will be established in the formula for that, when we look at the 100% business rate, I think indicates to us that they do realise there is a problem between the way it's funded at the moment and the reality of the cost to us of running that service. So if they are understanding that and looking at it and developing a new formula, we can only gain by that.
And where we could gain particularly, and staff will be aware, is in the cost of adult social care. Not because we're more expensive than other places, actually we compare really well. We are one of the lowest cost authorities per head of social care, and we're seen as very innovative. People come here to look at how we do social care, but they should come and look at other stuff as well, because actually we are really efficient and good at what we do across the whole range of services. We will be looking for further efficiencies over the next few years, but the issue is the growth of the population. And if we were funded fairly through central government per head, we would probably have about another £40 million per year in the council budget, and that would close the gap in one go. So it's lack of fair funding that's causing the problem, but in case that doesn't get sorted out, we need to take matters into our own hand and be in control of our own destiny, and that's why we need to develop income streams for the future.
I will say though, I think that the quality of our staff and the hard work of our staff has been one of the main features that's seen us through some of these difficult times. You know, I think our staff are our best resource that we've got, and at the moment I think they're all doing a brilliant job.
And certainly I'm getting lots of encouragement from Malcolm and Cabinet to invest in staff, invest in training, and Michelle Leith, as head of HR, is doing a really good job of understanding how can we work and help with people. Some of the things that there have been fantastic events, actually, the health events that have taken place on the corridor here in Shire Hall have been good, although I appreciate that we also need to get similar things out in the hubs and other buildings that Shropshire has, not in Shire Hall, elsewhere in the county. But the response from staff has been really good, that we do care about their health. And actually the uptake on the heart checks has been fantastic, and we've run subsequent checks on or made available opportunities for staff to have heart checks on the back of that. We will be doing more of those kind of things in the future to show staff that we really do value them in our business and they are our future.